Hello, everybody. So yesterday, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. He was taken out senselessly in cold blood by somebody that is still at large, and we don't know who it exactly is. They found a gun behind, according to the Wall Street Journal, but they have not found the assassin. And it's just insane what's going on in this country with all of the violence, the political violence. You've, seen Donald Trump shot at twice last year, a former turned future president. And you also have the second most important conservative in the entire country, one could argue, behind Donald Trump, somebody who, has a massive following and has built up all this infrastructure and just had a big influence and changed the minds of a lot of people, made a lot of young people conservative. He's officially been taken out, and it's insane. And while they don't fully officially have a motive on record, I think it's very clear that when you are killed and you're this big of a political figure and it's at a political event where ironically you are there to debate people that disagree, it's clear he was taken out by somebody who disagrees with him in some form, and most likely somebody on the left. And I know that this is confirmed, that it is most likely someone on the left, because the left are the only people that are going out there and celebrating this, heinous act. It's disgusting. Charlie Kirk, we pray for him. We pray for his family. He has a wife. He has 2 young kids. And the fact that he was just stripped away from them because of his political beliefs, which are mainstream, relatively mainstream. They make him out to be some extremist, but his political beliefs are very much in line with half the country. And it's just absolutely insane where so many people on the left think that it's appropriate to go out there and celebrate it. You had assassination attempts on public figures on both sides of the aisle back in like the 1960s, and the country came together. JFK, it was a very divisive election in 1960, but, it's like the world stopped when he was assassinated. And Charlie Kirk may not be president, but he definitely is very important. He's very, very well known. And the fact that you have somebody who's outspoken, who tries to change people's minds, who's always nice to everybody, by the way, including a lot of the people that he's debated. He's been very nice and very respectful in nearly every clip that you watch of him. And he's just an overall good person. It's absolutely sad. The people that actually follow him and understand that, their heart is hit, and they get made fun of by these demons on social media who are being propped up by, I don't even know what it is. We'll get to some of the reaction, because the reaction's disgusting. Yesterday, there was sadness. Today, there's sadness, but there's also anger. And we realize exactly what we're up against when we look at this, and it's extraordinarily frustrating. But you have this picture of this guy. We don't even know who this person is. We have no idea who tried to assassinate him, and we're 24, 28 plus hours from the attack. It's insane. We are a first world country, or at least I thought we were. This type of thing doesn't happen in first world countries, by the way. But in terms of where we're at right now, you have a massive AI revolution going on. Technology should be able to find these people, shouldn't be too difficult. But no, we have not been able to do that. But we have found according to the Wall Street Journal, that ammunition was found by the rifle. There was a rifle there. Authorities believed that the assassin used this rifle, and there were transgender messages engraved. So that would imply that it's very likely that it was a leftist that was involved in this sort of thing. It's just insane, because you look at the media and the way that they put it, the way CNN put it, it's disgusting, and it showcases how these scumbags act and how they're, in a way, complicit with this climate, because you want to be honest and try to convey the news. They claim the media is honest, but you look at the way the media behaves, the way the media acts, this is exactly what they're saying. They're going on and saying that, oh no, it was phrases related to cultural issues. Really? Which cultural issues exactly, CNN? Just say it. Just say it. But I mean, I don't know exactly what it is. They don't want to take blame for anything. They don't. And when it comes down to it, it's to the point where they're going out there and they're mocking the murder. And I want to showcase some of what exactly we've seen, because some of these are insane, and I'm just showing these vile tweets for informational purposes, because I have to give that disclaimer, because it's just that bad and that shocking that we live in a society with these people. And I have to say, it's not everybody on the left. People like Cenk Uygur and John Fetterman have come out and made, great statements about this. And obviously there's disagreement of ideas, but, they at least are somewhat human. Cenk Uygur, of all people, if anything, you wouldn't think that he would be the one that's the voice of reason, but that's how far the left has gone, where somebody like him is like the new Tulsi Gabbard 5 or 10 years ago that you could point to and say, oh, that's like a decent person on the left. It's insane. But these are people celebrating, deflecting. That's all they're capable of doing. It's true. They will never take responsibility for their own rhetoric that leads to, this sort of thing, the stochastic terrorism, everybody I don't like is some sort of Hitler. And then obviously everybody hates Hitler. And these people believe that if you're just a mainstream conservative, you're Hitler, you're evil. They'll take words you say out of context and they'll make up things you've never said and attribute it to you, and then radicalize these mentally ill lunatics. And then they do this sort of thing. There's blood on the hands of these people. There is, and there's no other way to put it. You have tweets like this, and the like counts are insane. 265,000 likes. That's a lot of people. That is not some small amount. Now, I do suspect maybe you could say some of these tweets are botted. A lot of it could be, Pakistan. You have these people in these third world countries that have access to social media that are going to be like cheering this on because they're like pro-Hamas or whatever, and Charlie Kirk was anti-Hamas. But you have this tweet saying he was a father and a husband, and she goes on to list serial killers. Yeah, Charlie Kirk disagreed with you and gave you a platform to sit down and discuss ideas with him. Maybe you thought some of his ideas were, slightly extreme for your tastes, but Charlie Kirk was not some extremist by any means, and you're comparing him to a serial killer. Multiple serial killers and like some of the worst people ever. Like, oh, you can't mourn somebody that you have a disagreement with at all. Like, you can't have a civil society with people that actually think like this, or you're going to have massive unrest. And that's what we're seeing. And I hate to say it because I hope it's not true, but it seems like it may get worse. Things may get worse. It really does. And they make up lies, too. This is another thing. They lie, saying he made fun of kids dying and being R-worded. All that. Like, what are these people talking about? But it gets 33,000 likes. And South Park, removed the episode that they mocked Charlie Kirk in, which I mean, Charlie liked the episode. I thought it was fair game, even though I think South Park has a lot of like problems with the new season. I mean, they are just like, going out there and just attacking Trump. They would never attack anyone on the left. It's not both sides anymore, but Charlie did like the episode. I don't know if they really needed it to remove that, but I guess out of taste that they did. So it is what it is, but they're just like mad that they're caving to common decency, I guess. I mean, this is what they think about you. Mocking the death, saying he was like saying something like racist or whatever. Even if he was, like, that's not an excuse to go out there and murder somebody. You're there to debate. Go say something to his face. Don't, shoot at him. But again, there was nothing wrong or offensive that he was saying at all to normal people. Also, they just go on there, take quotes out of context about empathy, saying don't politicize his death of the guy who politicized all these deaths. It's like you're literally kind of proving his point when you say that, because this is an explicitly political death, as many other deaths have been in this like past 10 years or so in the political climate. But it's like all these tweets here, just saying F Charlie Kirk, 235,000 likes. This tweet, basically saying that they hope that he was not okay, 250,000 likes. This tweet, 283,000 likes on an IG reel from Hamas lunatics, saying, oh, well, Charlie Kirk, cheered for what happened in Palestine, which again, Charlie wanted an end to the war, and obviously he supported, Israel defending themselves from the horrors of like October 7th or whatever, but these people are just cheering on his assassination because of it. There's no humanity. And the people that have had humanity on the left in their regular reaction, no fan of Dean Withers by any means. He's another Harry Sisson, but he goes out there and he's shocked because, you see somebody that just lost their life, and then he has to go out there and apologize for it. You have to apologize for being a decent human being for once. Seriously? And they're mocking him, and they're comparing Charlie Kirk to Adolf Hitler and Jeffrey Epstein because of what? Moderate disagreements that you might have. These people are insane and unhinged by every single stretch of those terms. It's evil. It's demonic. There's no other way to put it. They're going out there, 136,000 likes on a tweet mocking Dean Withers for being upset at the fact that there was an assassination at an event that one of his friends was at or something, even taking the Charlie Kirk part out of it, and you're just mocking him. And then saying they don't feel bad for Charlie Kirk, 71,000 likes on that tweet, 163,000 likes on a tweet trying to just go out there and say that Charlie Kirk needed to be redacted. And then this tweet right here where they have a quote that is not real from Charlie Kirk because they're exaggerating his political beliefs, because, they don't listen to the argument. The entire left's politics revolve around them pretending not to understand where conservatives are coming from, basically. And the disconnect you have between the left and the right, it's essential to the left's existence because they're so far detached from reality and so psychotic that this type of behavior is what it leads to. This type of behavior is very prominent on the online left, and it's not called out by really enough for any people in terms of the left's establishment. The inmates are essentially running the prison, and they're crazy people. It's a mental asylum. Their party's a mental asylum. It truly is. Tweets mocking Charlie Kirk's death, 500,000 likes, saying, oh, the worst person from high school is posting a picture of Charlie Kirk on their Instagram story, 302,000 likes. This is what we're up against. This is the modern left. I don't believe it's a majority of people that have these beliefs in the country. But it is a growing segment of the population on the left. And these people, they really need to be punished for acting like this because they shouldn't be able to, because this enables things like that. They are enablers. And, these people need to be fully looked into and put on some watch list. And this administration should crack down on these people. They'll say, well, the right shouldn't use power to crack down on political dissidents because, they'll do it to us next time they have power. They're doing it to us now, okay? We have the power. They're dancing on our graves. They're taking us out and dancing on our graves. When you had the incident happen in Minnesota a few months ago, there was no Republican that was going out there and cheering this on when a Democrat got shot in her home. It was a horrible situation. Now these people that didn't really even say anything back then are using that to deflect from what happened. And both are horrible, obviously, but this is you're assassinating a major political player in front of the entire world. It's going to be a bigger deal, obviously. Make no mistake about it. It's like an assassination attempt, the biggest assassination of a political figure since RFK or MLK or JFK back in the 1960s. This is on that level. That's how impactful Charlie Kirk was. You cannot downplay it. It's like apples and oranges. This is a clear statement that was made by some crazy person. And again, they need to be punished. The people that are egging this on, the people that go out there and lie and just make their entire ideology, because that's all it is at this point. It's trying to make conservatives look bad by any means necessary, calling them any name necessary. It's stochastic terrorism, and it needs to stop. It really does. And we have to actually take action. And what does that mean? It means peaceful action, obviously. You have to clarify that. But this administration has power. They need to use it. They're going to call this administration Hitler, fascist, whatever they do. They could do nothing between now and 2029, and they would be called fascist, you name it. So now's the time. You might as well use some power and use it well, and make sure that you find these people, have the justice system go over all these people the same way they went after Trump, get them on tax fraud, put them in prison, find a way, because they belong there. These are not human beings that act like this. These are animals, and there's no other way to put it. There's no other way. And these are people that you cannot exist in a society with. People on the left that can be somewhat, respectful, that's one thing, but these are crazy people. And these are people that should not be able to get away with this. Make an example out of them and, put them in prison for what they're doing. Or if they don't, things like this are going to keep happening. So you could say free speech, whatever. I say I don't care. This is survival. That's more important than anything right now, any sort of principle. Find these people that are doing this, get them fired from their jobs. Oh, well, that's cancel culture. Good, they deserve to be canceled. Not because they told an edgy joke 12 years ago. It's just insane the way these people operate, and the gaslighting and the levels of just mental manipulation that they try to do. It doesn't work on people like us, but it does work on a lot of people like the people writing these tweets. And this is why you have people like Charlie Kirk getting shot and killed, Donald Trump shot in the head, miraculously survived. They deny that too because they're just absolutely insane. And that's the way that it is. So, we have a lot of work to do for sure. Rest in peace, Charlie. I hope they find the killer, and I will keep you guys updated. I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle out.